Commander Dante is a character I think requires very little introduction. He is honestly one of the more popular chapter masters, if not the most popular chapter master in 40k. Everyone talks about him, and for good reason. He's really cool. This is the guy that held the line on Baal. He did some fantastic work on Armageddon. He is currently holding the line in Imperium Nihilus, and man, oh man, does he just really want to die. Being, you know, the oldest Space Marine in living history, being 1,100 years old, and a certain angelic figure is preventing his death utterly and completely, despite the fact he's so tired. He's so tired of old age and just wants to retire from the military, but he can't, because that's impossible. But enough preamble, let's get into the life and history of Commander Dante, Chapter Master of the Blood Angels. Before we get into all this, I want to do a little update here. So channel memberships is something I'm working on right now. In fact, I'm going to offer it a lot more. So in channel memberships, there's a new perk currently, where if you subscribe to the second and third highest tier, you will actually be able to watch the videos for free. And finally, there are perks there that I can feasibly give to all of you, which means there's a real, actual, tangible thing you can get from subscribing. And those of you who are subscribed and have been for a while, like actual coolest. So if you like my channel and you want to see more of it, this is the step that I need to, you know, do more of it, take more time to actually do this. It takes a lot of work, and the only thing holding me back is a pure logistic thing that I just can't afford to take more time to do this, besides, like, you know, my life and my real job. But yeah, keep an eye out. I got a lot of things currently in the pipeline, and any support through this system would be absolutely appreciated. And these are the current patrons that are providing these videos to you today. So Commander Dante. Dante was born on Baal Secundus, which he was born to a family that kind of all died in their own little ways, leaving just him and his pops. Dante, from a very young age, really wanted to become a Space Marine, and his dad said no, since, you know, he'd most likely get killed in the process, and Dante did it anyways, believing it was his duty to go help people. He wanted to help people fight back against these raiders in the salt wastes who would just fuck with people and be awful to humanity. And to be honest, what better way to help people than be an 8-foot-tall demigod with a giant force axe? Because that's the only real way you can make a difference in this world, to be honest. To where he set out into the desert and almost got immediately killed in the process of dehydration. But then, suddenly, when he was about to die, a certain angelic form appeared to him and guided him to a other mummified corpse, which just so happened to have perfect flasks of water, just waiting around him. This will be the first of many visits from this angelic figure, visits that I'm certain he wouldn't come to dread. But eventually Dante would make his way to the trials locations for the Blood Angels and try out, where yeah, he would take part, he would succeed, and he really wouldn't stand out. He would just be a normal aspirant, work his way up. He wouldn't really do anything special until he actually became a full Space Marine, where he got the Gene Seed. Now the Blood Angels do it in a special way because they're Blood Angels and they're weird about it. So the way they get the Gene Seed is they have a chalice full of the blood of Sanguinius himself, and they drink it because they're vampires. And then the blood puts them into a year-long coma, and they're put into a coffin where they sleep it off because they're vampires. Dante, during this coma, was screaming out the names of Primarchs, demons, long-lost gods, shit that only Sanguinius would know. Like that kind of ancient knowledge, which would be one of the many weird connecting bits that like him and Sanguinius have, which would be the first mark of excellence upon him. To where once he emerged from his coffin, he would go on the typical Space Marine named character career fast track, where he would excel and he would ascend the ranks and eventually become captain. To where during one specific engagement with the Black Legion, 90% of the Blood Angels died, leaving all of the captains murdered. Now, those of you familiar with Blood Angels lore and history know this is not a rare occurrence. This is just every other Tuesday. So this was due to happen at some point, to where every single other high up member of the Blood Angels like, all right, Dante's the guy. He's the one. He's pretty cool. to where they just gave him like all these cool relics, one of them being the thing you see him in all this art, the death mask of Sanguinius, which is molded from Sanguinius' face, which I guess is a weird screamy face. This thing has some goofy stuff like that little jewel, which is actually also has the blood of Sanguinius himself. Can you tell that the blood angels are vampires? And a psychic field that makes it scary if the face wouldn't already spook you. Now, Dante as chapter master honestly was not a surprising pick because everybody loved Dante for good reason. He's a great leader, he's inspiring, he's an all-around good guy. So much that he inspires like courage, honor, and excellence in everyone around him. Blood angels, other chapters, like for example, on the Second War of Armageddon, the Blood Angels were involved, and so were the Salamanders and the Ultramarines. Now, the Ultramarines and the Salamanders were very down and very okay. For Dante to lead the defense, I think is pretty normal, and alright, makes sense for the Salamanders to give up this position of defense. They're not very known for like defensive work, they're nice guys, yeah whatever, not really their wheelhouse. But to make the sons of Rabute Guilliman give up the joys of logistical planning, I think that's a major deal. He also inspires the Imperial citizens as they all adore him and revere him as a hero, as an angel, when the Space Marines are already seen as the angels of the Emperor, and then you have an angel above angels. He's a pretty big force, so his ascension is really not surprising. And then his military might isn't anything to scoff at either, because that specific battle, the Second War of Armageddon, he turned the tides. That battle was rough for the Imperial sides. Those orcs were fucking them up. Dante, though, he did a very key tactical drop pod, like strike, that cleaved the orc assault in half and was able to just cleave through the orc army with only his blood angels, which crippled the orc forces so much that the Imperium was able to get a win on that day, which was pretty major. They were on the back foot for the entire war until that moment. But it is pretty cool for Dante to see that he actually achieved the dream of his as a kid, where he gets to help people. He became a Space Marine to help the just regular people, and here he is doing that. And man, he's been doing it for a long time. All these victories don't give him a sense of joy in martial, I guess, honor anymore. He's just tired. It's like I said, he's 1,100 years old. He is exhausted. He just wants to die. But the problem is, he can't. Because he knows exactly how he'll die, much like Sanguinius did. Yet another connecting point. He knows he will die in a desperate last stand defense of the Emperor himself against darkness. He doesn't know exactly the right moment, but that time hasn't came. He's thought it happened a few times. He really did. Like the time the devastation of Baal was happening, when High Fleet Leviathan was attacking Baal, and he had a 1v1 with a Swarm Lord, which is pretty sick. He got the killing blow, but you know, he also took a mortal wound, and as he lay dying, he saw the Sanguinor and Sanguinius themselves, and he was like, oh my god, there it is, the pearly gates! And then Sanguinius put his hand on his head and just pushed him down slowly back into his body. Dante was begging, please, I just want to die. Let me go up there, let me go to heaven. But it wasn't his time. Now, obviously, I'm being a little reductionist here. I personally like the image that the Sanguinor or Sanguinius is just playing goalie at the pearly gates against Dante. In reality, he isn't like suicidal or anything. He is perfectly honorable. He's a great warrior. He's a great dude. He's just tired. He is the old veteran character. Like, oh my god. But in that specific battle, he was saved by Rabute Guilliman, which was honestly a big rescue he needed, as Guilliman was able to bolster the Blood Angels with the Primaris Marines and granted Dante the title of Lord Regent of Imperium Nihilus. Well, he was actually very bolstered by this fact, as he viewed it as, I am standing at the precipice defending the Imperium, I'm doing this again, the Emperor is at my back, like viewing this as his charge. So he is gung-ho about it. And you know what? This is a one-in-a-lifetime occurrence. He was rescued by a Primarch. By God, that's not gonna happen again. It happened again. As later, during the Arcs of Omen storyline, he was fighting Demon Primarch Angron with the Dark Angels. And who would show up when he got beat the fuck up? But Lionel Johnson, who came out and beat the fuck out of Angron. Again, I've said this in many videos. The Arcs of Omen storyline, meh. Take it or leave it. Meh, it's kind of boring. This fight scene, oh boy, it's very cool. And his thoughts on it, I don't think it's been detailed. I don't think he's talked about the fact that he's met the lion, at least in passing. If he has, if Dante has actually talked about his encounter with the lion, please let me know in the comments. I truly want to know. Which, it's right after this is where we have Dante currently. Currently, Dante passed the Rubicon, and now he is a Primaris Space Marine, and he is undergoing his Angel's Halo campaign, where he is currently hunting down Hive Fleet Leviathan and Imperium Nihilus during the 4th Tyrannic Invasion, which is ongoing. This is like literally the current storyline in Warhammer that is ongoing right now in 10th edition. So we'll see what happens with Dante. I don't think they'll kill him, at least for a while. I don't think that Games Workshop will kill off a Blood Angels character for a long time, especially because of how many unique models you Blood Angels players get. I'm not bitter about that, I promise. All the unique shit y'all get. Than me with my Raven Guard, and I get 1. Yeah, that's really it. There's a lot of books with them. I need to read a good few of them. I've heard some of them very good. So yeah, if you liked this video, like, comment, subscribe, do that stuff, join my membership, and see ya.